Hello, my name is Tara Lewis, and I'm going to introduce you to a website called Classroom Screen. And basically, this is a website that acts as a control panel for your remote learning, where you have everything in one place. And secondly, it also helps you to engage your students online, which, as you know, can be challenging. And so I use it for those two main reasons: to organize my lesson and to engage the students. So let's look at the main features here. Firstly, you notice this is my account. So you do have to create a free account. And we'll talk about free versus premium later. But I find the free version adequate. So the main thing you're going to use is your screen, but I'm going to also show you two other things that you may want to use. Firstly, you can add a poll, and you see it creates one automatically for me. I can either trash it or I can change some things about it. So whenever you see the cog, you can make changes. So I can do a different question. I can do different answer choices. I can hide the results, etc. I can have a different picture. So this is good for a warm-up, or could be for an exit ticket, or whatever engagement you want to have with the students, direct engagement. So anytime I want to go back home, I don't have to press back. I just press the home button. So now we have a new poll. Next, we have a group maker, which is one of the ways that I engage the students. So let's open that up. Now, the free version allows you to make a couple of lists, not unlimited, but we'll look at that later. So you can name your list. I just put a few of my students here, and as you can see, I have another list. And you have your list, and now we're going to create groups. So I'm going to press next. Now, the first thing you want to do is determine how many groups you want. Let's say you want 3 or 4 groups, and you want them to only be 2 or 3 students. Okay, now, there's a couple things you can do here. You can click on the 3 dots, and that makes the student that they are excluded from a certain student. So if you don't want Edwin working with Javier, for example, I can click his name, and those two will not go together. And that's for every student. Secondly, I can pin the student if I don't want to put them to a group yet. So if I press here, create groups, it's going to create my groups right here. And you notice that I haven't decided where I want to put Edwin. So some of those students I haven't decided, I may wait. I can take off the pin, and Edwin will go in there. Okay, so now, like with anything else, I press the cog to customize. So I can give them groups with numbers, letters, etc. And I can give them different pictures. Okay, so this will come in handy when it's our group work time. And this is a good visual for them so that they don't keep asking you whose group they're in. Okay, and you can create different groups every day if you want. Okay, going back to the home screen, the main thing is add your screen. Okay, so let's open this. So here we're going to look at the classroom management tools, okay? And sometimes they're in different order, but I'll just briefly go through each one. So you can add media here. So that includes YouTube and image. The webcam I don't tend to use, but if you want your students to see yourself right here, then you can do that. And going back to media, you can also embed a web page. It's a little bit tricky though, because you have to have the code. So, but you can click this, learn how to use. One that I don't use at all is the sound level. And I'll show you how to customize in case you don't want this one up there. Now, if I want a widget to disappear from the screen, I just click on the left for the box, and again, the right to customize it. One tool I sometimes use is the calendar. And basically, I use that just to give students a sense of how many days we're doing a project, when it is due. I can pick out some of these days, etc. That's a good visual reminder for students. Another good visual reminder for students is the clock, so they know how much time they have when class is over, etc. The one I use the most, one of the most, is the timer. So as you see here, not only does it show them visually the time, but also, actually I wanted to make, they hear it. And when it's down to, I think, 2 minutes, it shows the red so that they know that they're running out of time. So you can make as many of these as you want. I usually just pull it right up for separate activities. So that's the timer. Something you can use in conjunction or in lieu of the timer, and this is good for visual learners or newcomers, is, all right, go. Okay, you've got 1 minute left to finish. Okay, you should stop talking with your group right now. Here's another one I don't use too much, but again, it's a good visual reminder for your students. There's 2 options. You can show them silence or whisper. And this might be good if you're in person. Not as much for virtual learning, although it's also applicable. The next one is drawing. And this is great if you're an art or math teacher or just want to show them something. So I could show them a fraction. I could spell something for them. This is a great visual for them. Next, one of the ones I also use the most is called text, and basically it's a sticky note. And what I tend to use this for managing is actually an agenda. So before class starts, for all my classes, I'll have the screen set up and waiting. And I've got I can put my content objective here. Language objective. At the beginning of class, this helps me with a visual reminder right there. And this is good. I know some teachers use Google Classroom to do this, but I find that if I give too many posts for them, that they get confused. So instead, I use this every day, and I have the agenda right there. I can also put links in there. I could use bullet points, etc. So this is the one I'm going to keep this up here that I use the most. Next, you can give them a QR code if you want that. Another fun tool is, if you're playing a game, is the dice. And there's even a little sound effect. So I can use this if I want to call on a group or see which group goes next, etc. Okay. I can also do random. If I want to pick a random student, I can do that from whatever list. So you can have your classes up there. And next, I can also change the background. So we've got a lot of cool backgrounds. Most of these are iconic, famous places. We also have animations, which are pretty fun depending on the season. Right now it's winter, so I'm going to choose a fireplace and we can see it go. So that's everything right there. In terms of adapting it for your own classroom and some tips, my first tip is use your background picture to practice visual literacy. This could be used as the warm-up or any filler, or it could be used in terms of content. But I may ask my newcomers, what do you see here? If we want to put sentence starters. For my intermediates, I can ask, where do you think this is? What time of day is this? And what season is this? And how do you know? Or would you live here? Etc. So they can make inferences. And that helps all of our students with visual literacy, no matter their language level. My second tip is that you should customize this. So if we go to the home screen, you'll see, again, you have your poll here. Unfortunately, you do have to leave your screen to go to the group maker or the poll. But that's okay, because I just hit the home. If you go up to personalize, Okay, so you can warn yourself before deleting a screen. You can also create name lists here. And I know it's not unlimited with the free, but you can just do a couple right here so that they're already set. And those will be saved. Next, you have the widget bar. And as you can see, I showed you every widget, but you may not want to use all of them at first. Maybe you find that you're getting overwhelmed or your students are getting confused. And so what you can do is, any ones you don't want to put, you could have them disabled. And then whenever you're ready to use them again, you can bring them back up. So customize your widgets for things that you need and take out the things that you don't. And here's a preview of how it will look like. I just gave you my 2 tips, and I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope that you will use this to organize yourself with your virtual learning, and I hope that you also will use this to engage our students. I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you so much for your attention. Bye-bye.